I've been in a hilux where we were about to get head on with a trailer, and when those kind of things happen, you feel like something is protecting you. See, my mom was the one that was there for me actually, because she was squeezing money into my hand sometimes. He refused to actually listen to me.
Were you angry at him?
Yes, I was. Why would you just let me on my own at a very young age, right? It came with punishment actually. For example, he said he had washed his hands off my career. I actually always watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. One of those weeks, I said, let me play the home play, and if I can win 20,000, then I can launch my tech career.
When I was 7, I dreamt of being a singer. When I turned 10, my dreams changed, and I wanted to be a lawyer. It's incredible that we start out with wide eyes and lofty dreams, and with time, we discover our interests, things that make us tick, and people that make us feel safe. Ugi's story shows there is no time to waste, and that our childhood dreams can become our reality. An unavoidable question in today's world is, what does it take to plan, pivot, and leave room for unexpected twists? For Ugi, his self-awareness and consciousness started from a really early age, and I'm curious to find out how he chose to tread the road less traveled rather than a safe path, and how he dealt with the risk of forging his own way.
Okay, so they say life begins at 40. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, really?
Well, for some people, anyway. But for me, life started when I became a teenager.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Unpack that. What was that about?
I think for me, life actually started immediately. I became aware of who I was as a young person, maybe from 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I became aware of myself, and I started having dreams and planning out my life. So it was easier for me to scale life because I started planning early.
Wow, so you planned all the plans that you put in place. How
Yeah,
many of them are here
for,
right now? Because
yeah,
many of us had plans. Many of us, I imagine probably I'll be doing, I don't know, some of the things I thought I'll be doing by now. But it necessarily isn't that. My vision for myself at 12, at 18, I'm not sure it has anything to do with where it is that we are
Yeah,
now.
I think when I was 12, I told myself I want to be through with school at 28 and get married at 28.
And did you do that?
I did that. Yeah.
Okay, so check.
Yes.
What are the things?
Well, the other things were just career goals, but I changed career actually because my aim was actually to study medicine. But after I couldn't scale through getting admission.
So admission
I actually embraced JAM. I actually embraced tech early enough, and tech was already paying big for me. I started tech quite early. I started tech at 20. And at 23, tech was paying really good. And then I asked myself, what's the need to actually study medicine? What's the need? I looked at the average doctor. I think I was doing better than some doctors actually. Back then.
At 20.
Yes, at 23, in my 20s. I looked at doctors that were treating me then, and I was like, they cannot afford certain things, and I can afford some of these things, and they cannot. So I had to change my career immediately.
Wow, you seem very decisive at every point in your life.
Yes, and I think that's another point people need to be aware of. You have to make tough calls for yourself and for your career, and you actually have to be fast about it. You don't have the time to think about it. life moves really, really fast.
Why so? Many of us don't think like that. We want to
Well,
enjoy. A young
well,
man in his 20s is enjoying. He wants to drink, he wants to party, he wants to do everything he wants to do with all the girls and catch all the fun in his life. Were you one of those gigs? I see your glasses. I see all of the profiling. People will say, "Oh, this is a gig, so everything is like that." Was it
yeah,
like that for
I
you?
think I was a geek. I think I was a
Okay.
geek at a very early stage, and I did strange stuffs. Like I took decisions that were weird, almost opposite to what my parents would want me to actually
Many
do.
boys did.
Yeah. So my parents were keen on me being in the medical line because I think my dad was in the medical line, so he felt I should also be in the medical line as well. But I did the direct opposite of what he wanted me.
Everything.
Yeah, he
How did they take that?
well, they didn't take it well. I think at some point, for someone like my dad, he said he was going to disown me, and
African
yeah,
daddies.
he said I had disobeyed him, and none of his child would actually disobey him. So I must conform to what he wants me to do,
So did
and
he
that's
let
when
you pass? Did he let you pass because it's Ugi, it's the special child?
well, I
I will
think
let him go.
it came with punishment actually. For example, he said he had washed his hands off my career, but when I arrived London, studied and got the first class, and he was the first to call me to say, now I know what you wanted to achieve.
Wow.
And that really meant a lot for me, because when you take a decision that you trust your gut and you know what you want, right? And you go for it, and then it works, then all of a sudden you have your parents as your
Yes,
number
nah.
one fans,
Your number one cheerleader.
So he celebrated in the village, called people together, drank wine, celebrated that his son had achieved this feat, and
Amazing.
that was actually amazing for me, because if I can recall back to when I made that decision and how tough it was, and he not being there for me almost throughout. I think my mom was the one that was there for me actually, because she would squeeze in money into my hands sometimes. He refused to actually
Were you
listen
angry?
to me.
Were you angry at him?
Yes, I was. Why would you just let me on my own at a very young age, right? So I was actually angry, but then I looked at it that he actually wanted me to do his bidding and do what he wanted me to do. And since I trusted what I was doing, then tech was not mainstream like we have it
Yeah.
now, but I knew that tech was, at a young age, I was able to save a 250, 300,000 at a very young age. And I was like, I'll just do something very little and get 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K. And that meant a lot. And all through the stages where I needed to see myself through, get my school fees to study abroad, all through that stage, things just kept happening. Unique
you.
things just kept happening for me. I will give an example. For example, my first tech school was expensive actually. And when I can remember that when I came back home and I said, I don't think I want to do medicine again. I actually want to go into tech. He said, okay, we'll just allow you go and do the tech if you have funds to go and do it, because averagely my family earned about roughly 5,000 or 6,000 as at 2006 per
Wow.
month. Yeah, around 5,000 or 6,000. My dad's salary was about 3,000 something. My mom was about 2,000 something. So when you combine that, that's about 5,000 something. So when you're coming home and you're saying your school fees in a tech school is 200,000,
But you paid your way.
Yes, I did. So how it all worked was, I think then GSM were just becoming 18, and I actually always watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, every week. And one of those weeks, I said, let me play the home play, and if I can win 20,000, then I can launch my tech career. So I took my dad's phone. He wasn't watching. I took it, went somewhere, played. It was always 100 naira for the text. So I sent the text. He had 200 and something in his balance. I took out 100 naira and I sent that text with faith that the next week 20K will come in. And me sitting there in the parlor that fateful day, and I realized that his number was displayed on the screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
How did that feel? How did he take it?
he took out 5,000, obviously.
Oh, of the 20,000?
Yes,
But
he did.
was he happy to know that you took
Yeah,
my money?
yeah,
What did you
he
tell
was.
him? Did he find out before
He
you
found
won?
out.
What did he do
No,
when he found out you took 100 naira?
he was angry. Why did I use 100 naira from his, 100 naira then in your phone was really, really a lot,
yeah.
and I think calls were like 25 naira per minute or so. So he was angry, but the next week when the show played again, and his number was second on the screen.
Was he in the living room watching?
Yes, he was.
So everybody was waiting for the show.
So, and we all jumped up with excitement because 20,000
was a big deal.
Was a big deal. And he went the next day, got the 20,000, came back, gave me the 15,000, kept the 5,000 as commission.
He was a nice daddy.
For using his phone. Okay, so that was how I started my tech career. I took that 15,000 to the school,
and then
deposited, and then I remember doing small jobs here and there just to make sure I complete the school fees. That stage ended. The next stage was about 650,000.
Oh my God.
And I came back again and they were like, no, we cannot do this with you. So you have to decide to go to the conventional university we know, that you will pay fees, you will see what you're paying. We don't understand what you're doing with these tech schools here and there. And
so were these tech schools virtual or what?
No, they were physical. NIT, Aptech, all of them,
those ones.
They have presence probably all around the country. So I think I can remember that my mom supported with 100,000. I think by then she became a politician, so she was a bit okay. So she supported 100,000, but that was enough for me because that was like too much already. So I fought my way and paid the balance and graduated.
And look at you today. Amazing.
That's
that's quite a journey.
And because after that it was now the UK to study for the
you had
full
big
BSc.
goals. So after you hustled them
after I did all that,
and all those your tech schools, you still went again.
I still went to the UK.
Now what for you? You did not even cut it small.
No.
I think you had a big vision, and you seem to have gotten right early for you, which is very impressive, I must say.
Someone once asked me, who do we blame when life hands us a shorter end of the stick? The supernatural being? Our parents? Society? Ourselves? I still don't have the answer, but it's impossible to forget how deeply I thought about that question. Life handed Ugi a tough card, and he somehow managed to checkmate. And it leaves me wondering, is he truly fearless? Or does he just see challenges differently? What vision does he have for his life as he goes up to the fourth floor?
Now you're in your 30s, and this is 40s speak. We're actually trying to, unravel and, address some of the anxieties, some of the myths, some of the assumptions that a lot of people would speak to about the age 40.
Okay.
I know that we had some conversation previously around 40. So I would want to know, what do you look forward to the most about 40?
I call it the soft life.
Oh my goodness.
The soft life.
Take me now.
I don't actually want to stress myself.
At 40?
At 40.
So are you one of those who want to retire at 40?
Yes.
Okay, so tell
probably
me more about
before 40. I said the age 38. I want to stop doing mainstream work like coding, addressing staff and all of that. I want to stop all of that, and I want people to do it for me. I don't want to work from when I'm 40. I don't want to do anything at all. it's always good when you build, you build early. Yeah, you will still work, you will still read emails, but I don't want to be seen to be really involved with my business from that stage, just involved from the back where you have people calling the shot for you. And maybe you have to make a call to somewhere that they have to go and get something done. That's basically what I want my 40s to look like. Plenty of relaxation, vacation, travels.
Okay then.
I've planned out a lot of destinations,
Wow.
that I want to visit during my 40s, throughout my 40s. And I've set that foundation, for me to go and actually achieve that, to be able to do all of that. And just sit back and drive others, push others that are young, coming up, to actually have a better career than myself. Anyone that come across me, I usually tell them, I want you to come out better than what I am. I want you to be better than who I am. And it all boils down to hard work when you have the energy to. Because at 40, do you still have energy?
To do all these things.
Even from 35, you start getting so lazy, you start getting really laggy and all of that. But the youth you have is at your 20s. If you use it well, your early 30s, if you use it really well, then you stand a chance to live the soft life.
Soft life. I like that word, soft life. Okay, so as we discuss soft life, let's come back a bit to some hard facts we have to face in life. What are your own biggest fears? Do you have any fears at all? And what are some of your biggest fears?
Right now, I usually say I don't have any fear, actually. Is it the fear of death? You get to a stage in your life and you're really fearless. You just believe you can get anything that you want.
Really? No, I want you to unpack that. How did you arrive at a stage where you were no longer, or you felt you're fearless, really?
Well, because you go through life and I think life is a journey, right? And so many experiences in it and so many near-death experiences. I've been in a hilux where we were about to get head-on with a trailer and my driver had to run into the forest and our car tumbled and everything. And we came out, normal. And when those kind of things happen, you feel like something is protecting you. And when you get to that stage when you have to take a bow, you would know, actually, So I've been through that experiences a lot of times and I've overcome that fear that, death will come, And when you overcome that fear, you're ready. You're ready. It could come any day. You're prepared because you've set the stage. You've impacted people. You've done a lot of things for people. And for my own life, I've actually impacted a lot of people. Career paths, people that have passed through me, they have gotten better, they are abroad, they have jobs here and there and all of that. So for me, having that ability to impact has actually made me like, when you look at life, you could live it any day. You just have to be prepared.
So you live each day.
Exactly.
Making impact, making a difference, and taking life as it comes. You sounded like you've overcome death. That's what you said. Like, you've seen near-death situation. You're over it.
Yeah, I'm
no longer afraid of you, death.
Yeah, the other challenges I had growing up was the fact that I'm sickle cell.
Okay.
I like talking about it because I then tell people you don't have challenges, so you have to go and actually get whatever you want. I had challenges. Like if I make 4 steps, I have to come back like 3 steps because I could fall sick, have delays. Like I remember an instance in my primary school where I was winning competitions until the state level. And at the state level, I won almost every school. And then it was now at a level where I'll go international. And then I got sick.
Wow.
I got sick for months away from school and all of that. So some people have those challenges that they have fought and they have overcome, And when you overcome a lot of times, that's when that state of being fearless comes for you. You just believe that like now, I believe that anything I want, I would
can
actually get it. I can achieve it. I can go for it because I've seen so many instances where people like us should not even dream, but we dreamt and then we became,
And you're still becoming.
and we are still becoming,
Absolutely. I would like to say that I haven't spoken to a number of people that are probably clocking 40 in their 40s. A few of them had to get to this age to get the trigger to start to align their lives properly with vision, with purpose, with their true sense of identity. Much more that is drawn from not what they do now, in terms of maybe the work or their
Yeah.
profession, but more about who they really are and the kind of impact that they're delivering in the lives of others or making in the lives of others. Now, I want to ask a funny question.
Okay.
How big is your 40th birthday going to be?
I don't know. I don't know if it will be big.
Really?
I usually don't love big parties.
Considering we're planning the soft life at 40, I've joined myself with you now. We all
I
are planning
I
the soft
I don't
life at
actually
40.
love big birthday occasions,
Okay.
That's I'm actually an introvert, but I think my wife found a way to actually bring me out, of that state, But maybe I wouldn't love a big birthday, but I would love impact. Maybe I would like to
So that's how
send,
you would celebrate your
yes,
40,
maybe
okay.
5,000 students that don't have school fees, send them to school, or 10,000 or 20,000. Maybe that is what I might be doing, because last year we did about 1,000. So far
okay.
this year we've started up different programs, and we are sending children back to school.
So this is just a typical you, Ugi style, Ugi way.
Yes.
Okay, how many of your friends have clocked 40
I have a lot of friends that are
in their 40s?
in their 40s.
Okay. And what were some of the things? What's the difference between your experience with your guy friends who clocked 40 and your female friends who clocked 40? Any major difference that you noticed? Because you are talking impact now. Me as a woman, I'm not talking impact with you. I'm talking my anxieties. I'm talking, oh God, yeah, impact. I really want to leave a lasting legacy. Oh, what should I be doing? But you seem to have gotten it right from get-go and you're just journeying in that
Yeah,
direction.
I think I wouldn't say I really know what is maybe the biggest difference between, guys in their 40s and
Women in their
my female
40s.
friends in their
Okay.
40s. I wouldn't say I really know.
So why do you think more women would want to celebrate 40s than men?
Well, I think for women, some of them, when they get to 40, they want to have achieved, they want to have had a
Certain
family,
things, yeah.
settled down, maybe 1 or 2 kids and all of that. And they have just that they can afford their basic necessities. I think some of them just want that simple life. They don't really want so much. But I know some that they have goals like me. I have female friends who have goals. They want to be big. They want to run real estate companies by 40.
Yeah.
They want to get into running their own banks. Some of them are in the banking sector. They want to come out and run their own businesses and all of that, and they have all these big dreams. But I believe that they can actually achieve it. They can actually achieve it. It's one thing to dream, and then it's one thing to work and then to get it
Achieve your
done and
dreams.
get it achieved.
Wow. That is so, it's so interesting to see and to learn so much from your experience and your life experiences. If you look back now, what would you say is your biggest achievement so far? At this your age?
My biggest achievement so far would be scaling my company to what it is today. That would be my biggest achievement. But my best achievement for me is finally having my kids last year.
Wow,
For me,
congratulations.
that's personal.
Yeah.
But when you talk about mainstream achievements, career goals, and all of that, it will be scaling that company from a zero base to what we now have. We have offices in several locations. We're opening one in the UK this year, and all of that. And for me, that's the biggest stage. Seeing that vision, seeing that I can run a company, get into it without any knowledge. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't have any business knowledge. That's why I usually say we didn't have the right to succeed. I usually say that a lot of times, but we are succeeding. So without any knowledge of business, I've been able to run a business, scale it, manage it, lean resources, and then bootstrap it to what we have today. Zero investment, zero VC funding, and all of that. I'm actually always proud of founders who can go through all of that. So even before you say, oh, I'm ready for funding, you might have done a whole lot of work, put in a whole lot of effort, and maybe do some expansion before you now go and look for more money. Like we're expanding into a group. There's now Nogi Farms, there's now Nogi Media, there's now Nogi Tech. There's a whole lot.
So yeah, definitely. That makes me look forward to seeing many
yes,
more
exactly.
Nogis.
Many more Nogis.
Amazing.
Coming up. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ugi. What are your last words for young folks out there?
Okay.
In their 30s, in their 40s, who really just don't know what next to do?
All right. So what I usually tell young people, especially from 18, 19, 20 upwards, there's no time, and the world has no time. If you look at the world today, the people have less time for things. Something comes out yesterday, we're all laughing, we're all enjoying ourselves. Today is gone, it's forgotten. And because the attention span of people is getting smaller every day. So if I look at an Instagram picture tomorrow, if I look at it, I may not like it, but I might like it when I looked at it, and then tomorrow I may not like it. So because the human race is changing every day, so there's a lot of changes. So you have the stage as a young person. People look at young people. Can they really do it? Throughout my career, one thing I always faced when I met people that were 40, 45 was, he's just over ambitious. He's just too much. He's doing it too much. So you don't really have so much time. So if you stand in front of me as a young person, you have 5 minutes to prove that you can actually be that successful. You can be that person. You can achieve. You can go further. And because the people don't really have time, what I'll say is use the time that you have wisely. Because time is actually everything for us,
Absolutely.
Judiciously manage your time. Judiciously achieve whatever you need to achieve. Do what you need to do, because there is no time at all.
Thank you so much, Ugi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ugi's path shows that life indeed can begin whenever we decide to start living it, whether that's at 12, 40, or anywhere in between. From his early leap into tech, to his defiance of not only parental expectations, but life's expectations of him, and his big dreams of impact, he has made the most of every opportunity along the way. He's took leaps of faith, not knowing how things would turn out. But here's the lesson. True belief in a calling doesn't wait for permission. I'll leave you with this question. How far are you willing to go in pursuit of your passion and purpose? Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building.